can see all of the trades taken for this particular system, and the way they're ordered is obviously they're not in alphabetical order. It does it based on date. Now you can obviously change the ranking of any of these based on just by clicking the top here, and it'll auto sort that for you. But at the moment it sorts it from the oldest trade to the newest trade, and basically this gives you a little bit of a breakdown of what trades were taken. I think for me personally it's easier to look on the chart if I can see how the trades look on a chart. Now I'm going to head over to metastock because we actually have that functionality within TradeSim, and that's the next part in our tutorial. So we'll have a look here. Now following along from the tutorial, I just need to add an extra bit of code. Now let's say we wanted to have a look at the way, just under here, the way the trades were taken for ANZ. I'm just going to go ahead and drop in my TradeSim extra formula here. TradeSim dot show trades, and we're just looking for the long trades for this example, and we'll just try that code. We'll run that exploration again. All that data has been fed over to TradeSim. So we'll close that out, and you'll see this time what it's done is it's loaded up a chart of ANZ with all of our trades. This information can obviously be extremely useful if you're doing an analysis and want to find out how a particular trading system worked on a specific stock, and you can really drill down to try and see what's happening. And you can even zoom in, and you can see here the blue X here indicates the price at which you bought, and the red X indicates the price at which you sold. And you can see there the different trades that we've been taking. I've zoomed into one here to give you a little bit of an example, and you can just basically zoom in and out on different trades to get a feel for what was happening. And that yellow line, that dashed yellow line there, indicates the difference, obviously connecting the two trades together so that you know. Now I'll just zoom out and you can see that's why that yellow line is there, and it shows you which entries and exits are linked together. The final piece in this tutorial, if we just head back to metastock and our quick start guide, the final piece is we're going to cut and paste a system that trades both the long side and the short side of the market. And then I'd actually like to take you to where you can find out, you know, the results and how this trading system has performed, and then we can get a feel for this trading system. So having a look here, I'll copy this code back in here, and let me just copy this so that way we can have a quick start 1 and a quick start 2. And I'm just going to go ahead and select all of the code in here, and then I'm going to paste that in. Now it didn't copy all of the code for me, so we should put that line right at the top. And we've got a little bit on the next page here, so I'll just cut and paste that. Okay, now I haven't copied and pasted this correctly. That's okay. I'll just give it one more go. And if not, we can have a look at debugging the code ourselves but it'll just make it easier if I can copy and paste this code. Okay, went through that second time. So I'm just going to hit explore now. We'll go ahead and just scan the top 20. That data is going to get passed over to TradeSim. We'll have a quick look at our trade log just to make sure that there are no errors. And that looks right. And you can also see now we're taking, you can also see now that we're taking both short and long trades as well. So this system will trade both sides of the market. And just make sure that we put in the most recent information with the trade database. And I just forgot I need to open that trade database. Now with the database open, then we can select our trade parameters should we want to make any changes. Might as well put some transaction costs in there just so if we're paying some brokerage, and we'll hit start simulation. And I suppose to summarize what I've done, I've gone through the quick start tutorial and we've taken the MACD crossover system. We're trading both the short and the long side now, and I've just used all of the basic default settings and we've loaded it in, and I'm going to have a look at the charts here, and this is the equity curve. Now typically when I'm looking to trade a system, I really like to find a trading system with a smooth equity curve. Obviously I also want it to be heading in the right direction, so through this analysis the MACD system is really not that good at all. You can see it's performed very badly. Now having a look at this system as well, other things I don't like about it is, as I was talking about, you're looking for a smooth equity curve, not very large distances between peaks and troughs, because they're usually the hardest parts of a trading system to trade. If you're getting a series of losses, and it can be quite difficult to trade, so you're really looking to find a smooth equity curve. We'll also take a look at the reports. Now with TradeSim, there are quite a few options, and depending on how deep you want to go, you really can just rip apart a trading system to find out how profitable it's going to be before you actually trade it. I think that's what makes trading a very unique business, in that you can fully test your system before you have to commit one dime to the market, and that's what I love about TradeSim. Now having a look here, there's a few reports. Usually I jump straight to the combined report because that adds all of the reports together. Initially it'll outline what your trade parameters are, and those were just, you know, how much we're trading with and the size of our positions, that sort of thing. And then we move into the actual performance of the system, and there is, you know, lots of things to be looking at here. Obviously I like to firstly look at how much our starting capital and our finishing capital was, because you want to make sure that you've got a positive system. That's a given. And you also want to look at, there's lots of different things in here, but you want to look at things like the average winning trade, the average losing trade. I also like to look at the number of consecutive winning and losing trades in a row, because sometimes if you've got a trading system that has a string of, you know, 20 losses in a row, that might be very difficult to trade in real time. You also want to make sure that you have a look at the drawdown, the relative percentage drawdown. So what was the biggest drawdown for this trading system, and ask yourself, is that something that I could trade? Rather than going into all the details in here, because I think I'll need to save that for another video, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight into how we backtest trading systems and get you started with TradeSim. If you found it useful, please head over to meta-formula.com to find out more.